A few hours after the prisoner swap, the U.S. imposed new limited sanctions over Iran's ballistic missile program. An Iranian foreign ministry spokesman says the new sanctions have no legal or moral legitimacy. Washington delayed the penalties to preserve the historic nuclear deal with Tehran and the release of the American prisoners. Margaret Brennan is at the White House. She looks at the changing relations with Iran. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning. Well, as those prisoners were released, Iran received what it so desperately needs, $100 billion in cash and sanctions relief. That's a controversial reward for cutting a deal to freeze its nuclear program.
This is a good day.
President Obama said his high-stakes diplomacy paid off. Iran cannot build a nuclear weapon.
For decades to come, inspectors will have access to Iran's entire nuclear supply chain. In other words, if Iran tries to cheat, if they try to build a bomb covertly, we will catch them.
Tehran surprised U.S. officials by quickly complying with a deal to disable key nuclear facilities, finishing months ahead of U.S. forecasts. Shipping out more than 25,000 pounds of atomic fuel, reducing its number of centrifuges, and pouring concrete into a plutonium reactor, rendering it useless. In exchange, tens of billions worth of Iranian assets were unfrozen and sanctions lifted. Iran can now buy or sell oil and other goods. Its ships are free to sail into foreign ports, and its people can access global markets. The U.S. also agreed to make a $1.3 billion interest payment to Iran to settle a 1970s-era dispute. Iran's president said it marked a golden page in the country's history, but he still does not trust the U.S. And the feeling is mutual. After the prisoners left Tehran yesterday, the White House slapped new sanctions on 11 entities and individuals linked to its ballistic missile program, a delayed response to illegal missile launches conducted this fall. That didn't quiet critics, including Republican presidential candidates.
You take an American hostage, Barack Obama will cut a deal with you, whether it's Bergdahl, what he did with the Castro brothers, and now what he's done with Iran.
Now, the U.S. still does not have diplomatic relations with Iran, a country the U.S. considers a major sponsor of terrorism. But, Charlie, the White House does want to explore whether there are new ways to work with Tehran. It's just not clear at all what the relationship will be after President Obama leaves office.
Thanks, Margaret.